What's up, guys? Late night cast Mac here. Recapping the Carolina Panthers offseason to this point. And the reason I haven't done a lot of Carolina Panther videos is, one, because every time I would try to do one, we would make 3 or 4 moves just right after that. So it felt like a moot video, so to speak, not up to date. But also because I had to kind of figure out my feelings on how I was feeling about how the Panthers are now, given the last 6 years of brutal terribleness, if we're being completely honest. And I'm always going to be mad at Dave Tepper for that, but I would say the word is optimistic. Because Dave Canales, he's done, said, and brought a renewed energy to football, and realizing that we have to get football right again, because everything that we've watched over the past 5 to 6 years, other than the Steve Wilkes six-pack or Steve Wilkes portion, it felt wrong. It didn't even look like football. It didn't even resemble anything to it, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So everything that Dave Canales has said and Dan Morgan has done, and Evero and the staff putting together this roster feels a lot more football-like, and that's a feeling that we haven't felt in a while consistently as a Carolina Panther fan. In this clean slate, as it were, as I like to call it, I just wish everybody would just stop with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas and all that stuff. I realize that's part of it, and that's part of the anger of why we've been so bad for this patch of time. But the shoulda, coulda, wouldas is just like hindsight is 1,000. There's nothing we could do about it now. And the Brian Burns situation, Exhibit A, and the fact that we are able to kind of move on, and just Evero has been able to build a defense that most of his guys that he's familiar with, had connections with. Jadeveon Clowney coming in 2 years, $24 million. You always have to have that veteran guy coming off a really good year in Baltimore, 31. Has kind of had a career resurgence, and for him to come back home and want to be here and all of that just feels really good. Then you got Alshon Robinson, the hog molly next to Derek Brown. I really hope we extend Derek Brown post haste, because we really need a stalwart on a homegrown stalwart, and Derek Brown is that guy. Coming off a career year himself, you've got DJ Waddam coming over from the Vikings. A career high 8.5 sacks. Jadeveon Clowney and DJ Waddam are a pretty silky pair. I know we need a lot more defensive end help, but I think that value is awesome, and it didn't cost us $30 million per year. Not that I don't think that Brian Burns deserved the bag, because he did. I just think this is constructed better. And then you've got Jordan Fuller, Dane Jackson, Sam Franklin. We just signed to a 1-year deal. And all of these guys that I'm mentioning, they are 1 to 2 year deals that, even if they don't work out, say they're the 2-year deal, there's not a lot of dead cap issues that we've been dealing with. And that's been one of our chief issues bad contracts and stuck with things not to be able to build around what we do have. And then obviously the offense, getting Robert Hunt, offensive line, and just the two guards, Lewis from Seattle, them combining for less than 5 sacks each over the last year. It's a big investment, but it's needed. And if you have more consistent and cohesive guard play, then that should in turn translate to better play from Ike Ekwonu. And that is a really, really, really big need for us, obviously, to keep Bryce Young upright and give him a chance for his playmaking ability that we saw flashes of last year, for sure. And then you've got Deontay Johnson, acquiring him from Pittsburgh and being able to do that with Dante Jackson, who we were going to get rid of anyway for cap purposes and just time to move on. That was a very, very shrewd move. He's a guy that can get open. He's an electric route runner, and he gives us a little spice, Steve Smith type of spice and swagger and attitude. And you've got Deontay Johnson as your number one currently. And then you've got Adam Thielen, the veteran, and Bryce and Adam definitely created a connection last year. I like Tommy Tremble. I know I would like an upgrade on our tight end position, but it sounds like we're pretty happy with it right now. So it is what it is, and Ian Thomas is a good blocker. I'll give him that. And Tommy Tremble and Bryce Young seem to create a synergy as well. Oh, and I also forgot to mention Austin Colbert moving to center. It's a little scary because of the major injuries that he suffered the last couple of seasons, but he's been a fantastic guard, and the leadership quality that Dave Canales sees in him and the football acumen, why not? I mean, again, we were 2-15 and barely won 20 games over the last 6 years, it feels like. So there's nowhere to go but up. But everything that Dave Canales has given renewed hope to Carolina Panther football, returning to relevance, honestly, and that is something that we haven't felt in a while. So I'm willing to see it, try it, and what they're building really feels like they have a plan. And it may be the short-term moves. Yeah, did I want Mike Williams? Yeah, but him getting $15 million coming off an ACL, good for him. And if he used this as leverage, good for him, because that's the nature of the business. But I think us getting younger will help just build with Bryce Young. So you have that chemistry and synergy for multiple years to come. I'm sure a lot of playmakers, hopefully in the draft. It just feels like it's starting to take shape, and obviously there's been a lot of depth signings and some different things, but really excited about the possibilities and about the culture we're once again building, that maybe the logo will be feared sooner rather than later again in Carolina. But I have nothing to say that this isn't going to be fun to watch, because what we've watched the last couple of years has been disastrous. So I'm really cautiously optimistic of what Carolina is building. And I think Jadeveon Clowney is a huge piece. And for that, and to welcome him home and to be a veteran to the young guys, because obviously we're really young everywhere, pretty much. And I think the only signing that I was mad that we didn't get done was getting Frankie Louvu back. And we apparently tried really hard, but Washington just won out on that one. But the rest of everything, I'm just excited to see how it's gonna play out, and I'm because you got a dynamic running back room of Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders. Obviously a down year, but there was so much fluctuation with the offensive line. I don't think that it's even fair to grade that either, honestly. And the creativity that Dave Canales has with the play calling and the abilities he's had to resurrect Geno Smith's career, resurrect Baker Mayfield's career, and the smaller sack numbers that he was able to generate for both of those guys is something to be really, really excited about. And I feel like that is the way everyone, we all fan differently, but I feel like everyone should just kind of take a breath and just watch it build and hope it builds the correct way, instead of just trying to put bubblegum band-aids and try to take other people's reclamation projects and fix them, because most of the time that doesn't work if you don't have if you're not pulling on the same rope, which has been a problem for the Panthers in recent years, in my opinion. So obviously we got to win the draft, and you're not going to know that until like August, but you got Shaq Thompson coming back. You've got there's pieces there. There's rays of hope, and Dave Canales is definitely running the ship to a positive vibe and a positive mindset. Now, whether that results in a lot of wins right away, I don't know, but I just want to see football look like actual football this year. Whether we put together a lot of wins or not, I don't know, but it's starting to feel good again. It's starting to feel good again, and to feel okay to be hopeful again. But as always, keep pounding, go Panthers.